It's Halloween coming up and I love a good theme painting, but I'm too much of a wimp for horror movies, so I'm going to paint from my favourite Halloweeny film, Vertigo. I'm starting with the silhouettes of John and Judy, and I'm tracing them out with a plain black Sharpie. As always, I never have the right tools, so I'm using a bowl and a plate to draw the outlines. I'm blocking in the red circles to be as flat as possible. The trick is to water down the gouache to the consistency you want, and then avoid remixing with water and just use the same mix until it's all blocked in. Now I'm doing the same with the black. I'm painting the picture with gouache here, and I've taped watercolour paper onto board just using thick masking tape. It's quite good quality and quite thick paper, so it shouldn't buckle, and I'm thinking I'll probably get away with it. If it was thinner, I would definitely need to stretch it properly with water and gum tape. Vertigo is probably my favourite Hitchcock movie. I remember watching it with my sister when I was younger, and her favourite was always Psycho, but that was a bit slasher movie for me. I love watching Hitchcock movies at Halloween because they're creepy, they're suspenseful, sometimes they're sinister, but they're more about storyline and characters, whereas horror movies now are just gore and out-and-out screams and stuff like that. I don't enjoy it as much. After I paint this, I was considering either painting a picture of Hitchcock, like the classic profile of his face, or otherwise I might do Rear Window and make it like a James Stewart collection. Now I've finished the black background, I'm going back to the Sharpie to block in some details. I genuinely hate painting in thin lines and details in paintings where they need to be an accurate curve or a straight line, but I'm doing my best with the red. Anytime I feel bad about my skill level, I always tell myself if I wanted a photo, I could just print one. When I was younger, I used to love painting actresses, but nowadays I actually prefer painting actors from movies. You get a lot more wrinkles and things in actors' faces. There's a lot more character and blemishes and things that you can draw that give the picture personality. And so many pictures now from women in movies are all airbrushed, so you can't put in as much detail. It's just not as fun to paint. I'm really enjoying painting this because James Stewart has a really characterful face. He's got a lot of wrinkles, his hair's a little grey, but I'm really enjoying working with it.
I'm starting to paint in the shadows and lines on James Stewart's face using a mix of burnt sienna and white, and I'm mixing to various shades. I'm trying to draw the dark colours in over the pencil lines so I don't lose where the details are. Lots of modern artists seem to use Copics a lot in illustration, where blending is so seamless and smooth that it's almost digital looking. I have a personal hatred of digital art and AI in general. I use markers sometimes for detail or blocking in at the end of paintings, but it's not my style to use them much. To me, a painting should look like a person painted it. Its flaws are what give it some personality.
Gouache dries quite fast, so it can be hard to blend. If you put too many layers of gouache onto a painting and it becomes too thick, then the underlayers start to peel off. I try my best to make the blending smooth when painting in gouache, but it's more of a graphic paint, so it can be quite difficult.
I'm blocking in the eyebrows and dark shadows around his nose using a mix of black and burnt sienna. Then I'm moving on to the hair and going back to a paler burnt sienna to paint in his wrinkles.
I got my inspiration for doing this painting after looking around the Halloween section at Michael's. They're branching out a lot into different things. It's not just typical pumpkins, ghosts, that kind of stuff. They have sections on Alice in Wonderland and all different things, and it got me thinking outside of the box to do something that I would like to paint more for Halloween. I got some good ideas for spooky stuff while I was walking around the shop, so I'll put them on the video so that you can have a look. And also it helps me to remember for things I might do in the future.
I love these oval Gothic frames, and I think they'd be great if they were switched out with hand-painted portraits. This painting was just magical. I love the look of the old books, and I might try something similar at some point. I also really like Halloween editions like these simple little rats. They're creepy and characterful. I probably wouldn't buy a picture like this holographic one. It's a little too horror for me, but I did think it was really cool. The killer plants were really retro, like Little Shop of Horrors or Day of the Triffids. They're quirky, which I like. This was my top favourite at Michael's, the glass coffins which open up. I really thought about painting a little zombie or Dracula to go in there, or filling them with something, but I just couldn't actually decide what I'd do with them. The Alice in Wonderland stuff is whimsical and really nice, and so is this adorable toadstool in a glass dome. Painting ears. I'm sure there's a really talented artist somewhere on YouTube that can explain exactly where all the highlights go to paint ears. I don't have any tricks on that. My approach is paint exactly what I see, and if I'm not sure, I make it up, and if it goes wrong, I just hope it's not the main focus. Human faces tend to be quite flat, and a lot of the dimension in a portrait comes in painting the nose. It's a feature that often gets overlooked as uninteresting, but it's actually one of the most important to make a portrait more 3D. There's a lot of white reflection and a lot of white highlights in the face, and it helps to bring out his eyeballs and the look of horror in the picture.
This whole gouache painting is almost just 4 colours. It's black, white, red and burnt sienna. A lot of old movie posters are quite limited in the colour palette, and it makes it look really stylish when you finish.
As always, for the eyes, I'm using a dark colour to outline the irises, which are dark blue, then moving into a lighter colour to the centre, dotting the pupils in black and having 2 shiny dots in white to add shine. I'm adding in more highlights in white and trying to blend into the more dark shadows here. I'm really enjoying painting the hair on this, and usually I hate painting hair. The picture has so much shadow, so all it needs is just some gentle strips of pale colour to make it pop. I'm using white, black, yellow and burnt sienna and just working in thin strokes. I'm adding my signature in white and touching up with Sharpie and red paint again for the background. I'm taking the picture outside on my balcony to spray matte acrylic varnish over it because of fumes. It needs varnish to even out the shine between the Sharpie and the gouache, and it also helps to set the paint and protect it. Immediately after varnishing, I realised I still needed to add in pencil work. I'm adding this on top not just for fine detail work and highlights, but also because pencil adds texture, where the strokes of gouache paint can be quite smooth. Then I'm varnishing again.
So here it is, the finished picture, James Stewart from Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I think I might be doing more of these. It was a really fun one to do. Happy Halloween!